Hello and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another tarot reading from me. Today's topic is going to be on predictions for July 2025. Cannot believe that it is already July, but let's not dwell. So yeah, as usual, these are the options for those of you who want to choose with just crystals. I want to mention that I have chosen them intuitively, basically meditated upon the question of what crystals should I choose for predictions for July 2025. And these are the crystals that came out in this particular order. So pile number 1, you have this blue calcite. Pile number 2, you have this citrine cluster crystal. Pile number 3, you have this, oh my gosh, I forgot what it was called. Okay, it's green fluorite. I had to take a break and actually Google it. I hope this is not early stage Alzheimer's, heaven forbid, knock on wood. All right. So the fluorite crystal for pile number 3. Okay, so these are your options. Pile number 1, number 2, number 3. As usual, my recommendation is that you take some moments to meditate upon the question. Exhale longer than you inhale. Take some deep breaths. And that will help center you and calm you down. You can keep your eyes closed for a while. Again, you can address this question to a higher power like God or a deity that you follow, or your higher self or the universe. You can also ask more specific questions for guidance, especially if you have some kind of time-sensitive question that you would like to know the progress on in the next 30 days or so. And yeah, once you have asked the question, open your eyes, choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. And of course, if you feel drawn to more than one, feel free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. Okay, I will see you at your reading. Okay, so this is for those of you who want to choose with a crystal as well as a card. This is going to be the selection phase for the card for each crystal. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1, the blue calcite crystal. What will the month of July 2025 bring for pile number 1? Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the citrine cluster crystal. What will July 2025 bring for them? Spirit, oh, I just realized the deck was upside down. Never mind. I will switch the cards over. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3, the fluorite crystal. About July 2025. Okay, let's see. We have contentment for pile number 1. Pile number 2, we have be spontaneous. Pile number 3, we have communication. Okay, let me zoom in. All right, so these are your options for those of you who want to choose with a card as well as a crystal. Pile number 1, you have this card over here and or this blue calcite crystal. Pile number 2, you have this card over here and or this citrine cluster crystal. Pile number 3, you have this card over here and or this fluorite crystal. All right. So these are your piles. As usual, my recommendation is that you take some moments to meditate upon the question. Take some deep breaths, exhale longer than you inhale. That will help center you and calm you down. You can address this question to a higher power as well, like God, Spirit, your higher self, the universe. You can also ask more specific personal questions about particular situations, but try to keep them in the realm of questions that might be answered by predictions for one particular month, okay? Also, as I mentioned, you can actually use this reading irrespective of the time when you come across this reading. Even though it is dedicated for July 2025, I do this all the time myself and I get results, meaning when I watch other readers' videos, sometimes I will just scroll through YouTube, search for readings, and if I see one where the piles look like they might give me an answer, again, using my intuition, I click on that and I just ask, I just ask different questions basically, like what can you tell me about the next 10 days, right? Even though that prediction maybe is about August 2024, and I will get good answers, right? Just as a parenthesis. So yeah, you can meditate upon the question or, adjacent questions or any kind of question that you think could be answered by this particular video. And then once you have taken some deep breaths, exhale longer than you inhaled with your eyes closed, then open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. And if you feel drawn to more than one, of course, feel free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. All right, before I sign off, of course, I will remind you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. If you have found value in any of my readings, it's the easiest way to support me. And also consider clicking on the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. All right, thank you, and I will see you at your reading. Okay, so welcome pile number 1. This is your reading if you have chosen the Contentment card and or this blue calcite crystal. So let's see what July 2025 has in store for you. Let me start with, I'm going to start with the Oracle. No, I'm going to start with the Tarot card, sorry. Let me see. Spirit, tell me about the first pile, the blue calcite group. What will July 2025 bring for them? What will they have to deal with? What new situations will arise? Tell me, please, Spirit. Okay, this one really wants to come out. Let me see. We have the World. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Two of Wands. Queen of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, so many twos, and the Ace of Cups, which really wanted to come out. All right, Spirit, tell me about pile number 1, the people who chose the blue calcite crystal. What will July 2025 bring for them? What does this month have in store for them, Spirit? Tell me. Yeah, this one really wants to come out. So let's see. We have Three of Cups. We have the World again. We have the Hierophant. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Two of Pentacles again. Bruh. Spirit is added again. Very strong messages. Okay. I already know I'm going to probably be pulling out some clarifications for some of these cards along the way, but not right now. Spirit, alright, the Oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What will July 2025 bring for them? We have this one. Spirit, what will July 2025 bring for pile number 1? Tell me. Yeah, this one really wants to come out. Okay, Spirit, tell me, what will July 2025 bring for pile number 1? So let's see. We have 10. Pay attention to signs. Okay. Eerie. Pay attention to signs. All right. Okay, I should probably put this somewhere where you can see it. Okay, I think this is good enough. We have Elk, North, Masculine, Fire, number 15. I'm going to read the description for this from the booklet. Then we have Being Enough. The innermost heart says you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change. No need to grow more deserving. You, yes, you are love. All right. Let's see the description from the booklet. Okay. Elk, North, Masculine, Fire. I am Elk. I run the distance with stamina and strength. I feel my powerful legs carry me steadily away from my enemies and danger. My ability to survive is based in pacing myself, using no unnecessary movement. My fiery jealousy rears its rack when confronted with competition, but my love is deep and powerful, emanating from my pure heart. I prefer the company of my own gender when not mating. My loyalty is fierce but gentle. I am capable of great accomplishment. I am gratitude. I am majesty and beauty. I run the distance with stamina and strength. If I have loped into your life today, I am reminding you to pace yourself. Are you taking proper care of your physical body and your spiritual needs? You can accomplish much from the strength of purpose deep in your heart, but not if you are unwell or burned out. My medicine for you is an indication that you need to reestablish your connection to your own feminine or masculine nature. Do you need to develop more power or more gentleness? Perhaps you are jealous or envious, or you are on the receiving end of these energy-sapping emotions. The need here is to go within. Find the piece of the puzzle that provides the answers to the riddle. Once found, release it, let it go, allowing unconditional love to flow freely in your experience. I am majesty and beauty. Wow, like holy mother of Christ. There's already a repeated message here about basically loving yourself. All right, so on top of which you have 2 repeated signs. You have the World coming out, 2 repeated cards, sorry. You have the World coming out twice, and then you have the 2 of Pentacles coming out twice. And the Ace of Cups at the end, which is about love. Oh my God. And you have your first card, which is contentment, with this woman, well, mermaid, that seems to be, well, pleased by herself. So I guess right off the bat, I mean, I can already tell the main theme here is about loving yourself, self-acceptance. Stop trying. I guess there's also a message of burnout, so having to take care of your health. So these are like already some main themes that I am getting from the original cards, right? Maybe some of you have been chasing something, other people's approvals, maybe, or maybe you have felt like hunted down by people who had malicious intent. That could also be a thing. But I feel like, Spirit is telling you here that you have the ability to pace yourself. You have the ability to heal yourself to a large extent, even when it comes to your health. Right, one of the main messages, like this oracle card said, is about pacing yourself for the month of July. So maybe you have been going at something too intensely, maybe some of you have even gotten dangerously close to burnout, right? Because it's also going hand in hand somehow with the World, because the World coming out twice, I mean, the World is basically an ending, which is very interesting here. Like I said, I'm probably going to pull out some clarifications. So the World here with the 3 of Cups underneath. This is really making me think, maybe it's very specific, but it's making me think that some of you at the beginning of the month are ending a friendship. I think it's mostly a friendship, not so much a romantic relationship. If it is a romantic relationship, this is someone that you have been very close to, like a soul partner, someone you could, you know, bare your heart to and share anything with. Someone that you were also friends with, first and foremost. I think this is most likely, this has most likely happened in the recent past. If that's not resonating, what could be happening is the end of chasing social activities, right? So the world is an ending, like I said. Three of Cups is about reunions, celebrations, parties, right? It's also about getting together with people. So it could be that there's, you know, recently there's an ending. There has been an ending of maybe important relationships in your life. Let me try to clarify because I'm curious. Please clarify the Three of Cups, Spirit. Oh, we have the Moon. Yeah, I definitely think that this is the first thing that came to my mind. I don't know, maybe this won't resonate at all, but this, I just have to say what I'm seeing, right? So I'm seeing a female figure because the Three of Cups, also with these women dancing around, this is kind of yeah, it makes me think of women. Obviously, I know that not everyone watching my channel is a woman, a straight woman for that matter, right? But I feel like in this case, whoever this person is that you have maybe had a fallout with, or like someone who has left your life, this is a female figure, maybe even your mother, actually. And then we have Two of Swords clarified by the... All right, I'm going to clarify a lot here. Please clarify the World here, Spirit. This one. Oh my God, the Tower. Please clarify the Tower, Spirit. The Sun. Oh wow, this is actually very positive. I'm going to clarify the Two of Swords as well. Please clarify the Two of Swords, Spirit. Tell me. Please clarify the Two of Swords. Queen of Wands. So in this month, I'm actually seeing, so look at this, the Queen of Wands and the Sun. This is Leo energy. This is Sun energy. This is confidence. This is heart chakra. Heart chakra, again, I said this in multiple videos. So the Sun actually rules the heart, the cardiovascular system. It also connects to the heart chakra, and it rules the 5th house in astrology and the house systems, which actually rules what you do for fun, your heart's desire. So this makes me think that you are breaking away a lot from caring too much about other people. Maybe there's one particular person on your mind, or several particular people on your mind that have really had like a negative emotional impact on you recently, and you are really breaking away from that. Like you're more and more, maybe not 100% by the end of July 2025, but you're really kind of taking your life back into your own hands and reconnecting with what makes you happy, basically, without caring too much about what other people think. There's also a renewed decisiveness here with the Two of Swords and the Queen of Wands. There's like an initial pondering, looking at things like the pros and cons, you know, weighing the pros and cons, looking at things rationally, and then taking decisive action. The World, clarified by the Tower and then clarified by the Sun, this is showing an abrupt and very positive ending. So the closing of a painful chapter, most likely, because of that Tower, is immediately followed by a lot of opportunities, a lot of light, a lot of passion, maybe a renewed vitality, a renewed sense of self, and a renewed sense of confidence. So it's actually really positive. Like I said, a lot of positivity here. It basically tells me that some ending that has happened in your recent history is actually working out towards your favor in a very positive sense. Then we have the Two of Wands and the Hierophant here in opposition. So what this is telling me is what is against you this month is, on the one hand, hesitation, having too much analysis paralysis. And I feel like this has probably been a theme with you for quite some time because you have so many number twos here. Number two is actually ruled by the moon in numerology. And then you also have the moon itself coming out here. So I'm curious. And also you have the Queen of Cups, which is more water energy, which can be connected to the moon or to the water signs, which can be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So I wonder if many of you have, placements in water signs, or, you have a prominent moon in your horoscope. That would make sense. But the number two and the moon also can show a lot of indecisiveness, can show a lot of waxing and waning, back and forth. So the Two of Wands especially speaks about kind of being stuck in a comfort zone. It's being there, like if you look at the image on it, right, there's this guy that, let me try to pick it up. So there is this guy who is, looking somewhere in the distance, and he's very wistful and dreamy. And he's also holding the globe here, like the planet Earth. So it's showing kind of like a desire, a thirst for adventure, a desire to get out of your comfort zone. But you are still a little bit too paralyzed to actually act in that direction. So this is coming out in opposition, which shows that too much hesitation, too much overthinking is going to work against you in the month of July. So you have to learn to take decisive action, basically, and step outside of your comfort zone. And by the same token, in opposition, we have the Hierophant. What is really keeping you from taking the leap of faith, so to speak, or to break out of your comfort zone is your fear of going against tradition. So the Hierophant speaks of tradition, maybe traditional people. This could be, people who are in positions of authority, people who maybe have a certain authority over you. They could be parental figures, they could be relatives, they could be anyone really that, you feel is being hyper judgmental, or maybe there's not even one specific person, but just the fear of going against maybe everything you have been taught, or everyone in your circle when you were growing up, right? It's holding you back, right? It's keeping you in this state of like, oh my God, what's going to happen if I get out of my comfort zone, right? And yeah, Spirit is telling you that this is acting against you. This is actually against your best interests and your progress. Moving on to the Queen of Cups with the Eight of Cups underneath. So this is showing me the past, right? This could be recent past or of your past up until this point, which is a good thing, right? The Queen of Cups actually shows emotional maturity. So this actually tells me that up until this point, you have acquired quite a lot of experiences, a lot of wisdom, especially when it comes to understanding people. Like I said, like emotional intelligence, right? You're probably a very good judge of character. You're very good at reading others, understanding their motivations, understanding how they function. And at the same time, you come from a place of empathy. So there's even a potential of being a kind of a spiritual guide or a spiritual leader because you have so much wisdom. By the same token, it also shows a lot of creativity, a lot of imagination that you have cultivated over maybe long periods of time, maybe since the time you were born. The time you were burned. Hope none of you are burned. But yeah, from the time you were born. And also there's kind of a symmetry here, again, between these two cards. I mean, look at this. We have contentment and we have the Queen of Cups, and they're both kind of like, sitting there chilling, just, taking in the breeze, you know, she's having a little glass of wine or whatever's going on there. So it's kind of like this energy of, I'm good, you know, I'm good. So, and also because there is the 8 of Cups underneath, that shows that you have walked away or you have recently left a potentially painful situation, right? It definitely shows that in recent history, you have seen things getting progressively better with your life, with respect to your mental health, maybe especially. Like you have slowly but surely walked towards more happiness, more satisfaction in your life. Maybe left something really painful in the, you know, in the past. Also, the 8 of Cups is a card that I was just thinking again, we have the moon here. Anyway, so the 8 of Cups is a card that again speaks of kind of leaving a painful situation that was hard to leave behind. Maybe a person that was hard to leave behind, but taking the lessons away, right? So taking whatever you have learned with you as wisdom and making the most out of it for future situations. And now we have the 2 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. I'm going to get some clarifications. All right. And like I said, 2 of Pentacles coming out twice. Please clarify this 2 of Pentacles. Actually, no. Please clarify the 6 of Cups for me, Spirit. We have the 4 of Cups. Okay. Please clarify the 2 of Pentacles here, Spirit. Oh, wow. We have the Empress. Are you kidding me? Please clarify the 2 of Pentacles over here, Spirit. We have the Hermit. Please clarify the Hermit. Oh my gosh, the Tower again? What in the love of... Anyway, please clarify the Tower, Spirit. Please clarify the Tower. Don't leave me hanging here. Please clarify the Tower for me, Spirit. Okay. 3 of Pentacles. So this is the near future. Clarified by Hermit, clarified by Tower. Oh, I see. I see what this is happening. What is happening, sorry. So this is all happening like maybe in recent past, near future, right? What this is showing me is you're going from a period of solitude. So what I see, like, this is very beautifully described here. So it starts out as kind of a people pleaser, right? Has an awakening, realizes that a lot of leeches are just trying to bully them or lead them away from their true path. And then they start taking action. Then they go through a phase when they might be in solitude a while. And then we have, ironically, the fact that this hero of the journey, which is you, starts to become self-aware, puts their foot down, says no, basically, you know, learns how to maintain and support their boundaries. That actually leads to quick finding of collaboration, quick finding of new people who support you. Especially people who support you professionally, but not just professionally. So people who support you in your life path, on your life path, right? So people who basically support your true nature and want to see you succeed. And then we have the 6 of Cups and the 4 of Cups underneath. So the 2 of Pentacles speaks of busyness, right? So you're juggling a lot of things. And this juggling comes from you pursuing your heart's desire. The 6 of Cups makes me think of someone who gets back in touch with their childhood passions, for instance, right? So you're really trying to juggle your activities. So maybe you are suddenly having this awakening throughout the month of July of I don't know, there were hobbies that you neglected, there were interests that you forgot about. Maybe you're discovering some new interests, and now all of a sudden you have a renewed passion, a renewed sense of purpose in life. And suddenly it's like you're going to be chasing multiple things at the same time. That's what's showing with this Two of Pentacles. And it's motivated by your heart's desire, but then also your newly found sense of strength in supporting your boundaries. So like you're learning to say no to people and not be afraid of the consequences, not be constantly afraid of hurting other people's feelings or of being judged. So in other words, you're going through this reawakening that is going to keep you really busy because you're going to be chasing multiple interests. Of course, this can also show as an action that Spirit is telling you it's very important to continue to maintain your ground in this month. Figure out what it is you love, what you don't love, what you want, what you don't want, and just stick by your guns, right? So do not compromise. And also make sure you are working on managing your time because you're probably going to be busier than usual. So this could also show, by the way, that you might have more opportunities in the month of July. And with the Two of Pentacles, because it's a pentacle, which speaks of money and career, this could be especially oriented towards money and career. You might have more opportunities to make money. I don't know. Maybe you're going to have the opportunity to get 2 jobs. So, and you might be interested in both of them, right? So a Spirit is telling you it's very important to learn how to manage your time. But the fact that you're having an overwhelming amount of positive outcomes over here is showing me that Spirit has faith you can achieve whatever it is you set out to achieve in the month of July. And of course, the cherry on top is the ending of this situation. Look at this. You're going to be difficult to top pile number 1. I wonder what the other piles are going to look like. It's like, I wonder if you've taken you've taken the cake, you know, like you've taken all the positive notes over here. We have the Ace of Cups, right? And we have, again, the Two of Pentacles underneath. And underneath that, we have the Empress. So what this is showing me is, by the way, do you remember when this card said that you have to get in touch with your feminine or masculine side? I was actually going to say this while I was reading it, but I didn't want to interrupt. I think the reason it said your feminine or your masculine side is because it's talking about what your biological gender is. So if you're a biological woman, right, that means you need to get in touch with your feminine side. Maybe you've lost track of your feminine side. If you're a biological male, then maybe you need to get back in touch with your masculine side, right? And figure out ways to get in touch with that. But since most of my viewers are women, I think that's probably why the Empress came out, right? Or maybe I should have taken 2 cards as clarification, but I'm not going to do that anymore because the question was asked. But yeah, I think the reason why this came out is exactly what this card is saying. So by the end of the month, because this is the result here, this is the result of everything that's going to happen in the month of July, you're going to have, first of all, a lot more self-love. We have the Ace of Cups over here, which is, again, heart chakra, right? It's also this very warm, open, soft energy, but it's like this opening of the heart, right? It's this energy of pure love, right? And not love necessarily directed to a particular person. It's not specifically saying it's going to be erotic love or romantic love or filial love or what any kind. It's just love, right? It's a spiritual, pure love. And I think the 6 of Cups and the Ace of Cups are going hand in hand with the Sun energy coming out so strongly for you, meaning following your heart's desire. So first and foremost, I think, look at this, your cup will be runneth over. Sorry, will be running over, meaning that you will have so much of an abundance of self-love that you will be giving from your surplus of love, right? So instead of like maybe chasing approval and maybe even having an attitude of self-hatred towards yourself, you know, So also with the Two of Pentacles and the Empress, this can also speak of a glow up more specifically, irrespective of gender. Of course, being the Empress, it especially speaks of feminine energy. So that's why I also made the parallel here. So I think especially if you're a woman, by the end of July, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable in your feminine energy. Maybe you're going to learn to enjoy being a woman again. I don't know, taking time to pamper yourself, to do girly things. Yeah, to not feel bad about pampering yourself. That's another thing. And overall, a lot more self-love. And as a consequence, you could have a healthy glow up, right? A glow up that comes out of you just learning to take care of yourself again, taking care of your health, taking care of your fitness, right? Which again is also mentioned in these cards, right? Speaks about burnout, right? Stop pushing yourself too hard and learn to take care of your body. So all of these are themes for the month of July. Going hand in hand also with these cards, yeah? It's totally going hand in hand. Being enough, this is the same message here as the love. Also, the number 15 here on this card also is the number 6, which shows up on the 6 of Cups. 15 boils down to a 6 in numerology. It's 1 plus 5. So the number 6 is actually ruled by Venus, the planet of love. And then number 10 here is actually boiling down to a 1, which is ruled by the sun. And this card says, pay attention to signs. I think this refers to, pay attention to signs means the universe might be speaking to you through signs, like idiosyncrasies, all kinds of weird coincidences happening. I don't know. Looking at the clock and seeing that 11:11 is there, right? That could be a thing, but it also could be a specific message since, again, in the beginning here, this is you at the beginning of the month. I think you might be having a snake or two around you. And I don't mean literally a snake, you know what I mean? I think that Spirit is also kind of giving a hint that pay attention to the people around you, you know, pay attention to the signs that maybe they're not what you think they are, right? Or that they might actually be against you, not for you. So yeah, okay, this is pretty much what I'm seeing. Now let me get the astrological cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What will July 2025 bring for them? Tell me. Nothing? Come on. What will July 2025 bring for pile number 1? This doesn't... I don't know. I'm confused about this one. Shit. Yeah, it's meant to come out. Okay. So we have, oh wow, 5th house, joy and play. What was I talking about? Look at this, right? The sun energy. 5th house, like I said, corresponds to Leo, is ruled by the sun. It's the heart chakra. It's about doing what you love. The Aquarius, the visionary, which interestingly is opposite to Leo. But I'm going to see, oh my God. The moon as well, which has come out strongly in this reading. And then we have Saturn, limits and lessons. Saturn is co-ruling Aquarius. And then we also have 12th house, spirituality and art. This can be that Pisces energy, that moon, also the moon energy, the water energy that I was picking up throughout the cards. Okay, so clearly Spirit is confirming things over here, right? 5th house, joy and play. This is Spirit telling you that this is a good month for you to explore your heart's desires, right? Get into things that you love to do, things that you would do for free, things that you lose yourself into, hobbies, interests. Of course, 5th house also has to do with romance. So this can also show that there might be opportunities for romance in the month of July. Fifth house is also about children, dealing with children as well. So if you have children yourself, this can be a good month when it comes to the relationship to your children, spending time with them. And then also getting in touch with your inner child, healing the inner child, right? Getting in touch with what it is that you wanted from life when you were a child. That's a good place to start from. Like, what made you happy, right? What were the activities that made you feel like you could do them forever, like time didn't exist, right? What made you get into the flow? Those kinds of activities are the types that you should be exploring more of in the month of July. Aquarius, the visionary, right? So this is that hermit energy that came through. And it also explains the Saturn coming through. So Aquarius is about, you know, following the beat of your own drum. Or is it dancing to the beat of your own drum? Either way. It makes sense that it would come out considering that Hierophant energy that came through for you underneath, right? Your fear of going against tradition. And here we have the tradition as well. We have Saturn giving you an evil eye over here. So Aquarius speaks of daring to be yourself, right? This is the energy of Rahu. For those of you who come from Vedic astrology, Rahu is the sign of the rebel, the planet or the point, the energy, the archetype of the rebel, right? So daring to go against society's expectations, against your family's expectations. Sometimes you have to have the courage to be a little bit crazy. Makes me think of that song by, I think it was Dr. Alban. It's ancient. It's from the 90s. It was something like, we're never going to survive unless we are a little crazy. Those are the lyrics. You can definitely find that song online if you search for those lyrics. But yeah, that song is very Aquarian. Can I just say so? Basically, and another quote that makes me think of it's a funny meme that I saw online ages ago that said something like, I don't suffer from insanity, I enjoy every minute of it. That would be something, again, that an Aquarian would say, or especially maybe someone with Venus in Aquarius, right? So Aquarius is basically someone, the archetype of someone who's not afraid to go against social expectations, carve their own path, and rejoice in his or her own weirdness. And then we have Moon, which has, you know, again, it's coming out here. You also have the Sun and the Moon coming out, right? Interesting. Hello. The fact that both of them came out is actually, again, reinforcing what this Oracle card said to begin with, right? That this month is about embracing your masculine and feminine side. Maybe it's also about balancing the masculine and feminine, since they're both coming out so strongly in this reading, right? So the Moon, again, speaks of you maybe being more sensitive than usual during the month of July. It definitely shows that you would do well to nurture yourself, to nurture your heart chakra, like be kind to yourself, right? Also, that you can gain from nurturing others. This can also be a good time to heal your relationship to your mother, to maybe rethink your parenting style if you are a mother yourself, or this can be, you know, about you healing as a mother, as in being kinder to yourself about what you are doing as a mother, right? So issues surrounding mothering, but also issues surrounding past hurts are very important in the month of July. They're going to come to the forefront. So with the Moon being so strong, it means the subconscious is very active. This can also mean there might be some sense of restlessness emotionally and psychologically. Maybe you'll find yourself like waking up in the middle of the night or something like that. I don't think that's the case for most of you. But what could also happen is you could have very vivid dreams. Very vivid dreams, especially with the 12th house also showing up strongly, right? 12th house is actually ruling sleep. It also rules bedroom activities in general, but it especially rules sleep and the subconscious as well. So this can also show this is a good time to delve in the subconscious, right? To go to therapy, understand yourself better. If you have repeated dreams, or even if you don't, actually keeping a dream journal, right? Something right next to your bed, where as soon as you wake up, you write down some memories, some things that you remember from your dreams from the previous night. And then later, you know, after a week or so, go through those notes and see if there are repeated themes, repeated emotions that show up, right? And try to work on those. That could be a good idea. And then with the 12th house, I'm going to jump to the 12th house and speak of Saturn later, because the 12th house is more related to the moon. So I think the 12th house and the moon showing up, and the 5th house, definitely July is a very good month for developing creativity, developing ideas. Your imagination is going to be off the charts. If you are activating in any kind of a creative activity, you will find yourself being full of ideas, right? And then Saturn showing up is also showing the capacity for you to make those ideas into something real, right? To put them into practice. Saturn is also speaking of, I have to say it, potential frustrations and obstacles. This is what Saturn likes to do, really. It's testing us, right? So it can bring frustrations and obstacles. It can also make you feel like things are moving too slow. Like you're working very hard. Like let's say you're working towards a particular financial goal, and you just see very tiny, small increments of improvement. That is what Saturn does. It will make you feel like you are moving like a snail, right? Like you're making very slow progress. And this is because Saturn wants to test you. It wants to test your commitment, your endurance. It wants to make sure that you are thorough. Saturn is a hard taskmaster. So this means that this month, no matter what you do, if you are not thorough, it's going to come back to bite you in the butt, right? Especially when it comes to fairness and morality. Sorry. When it comes to fairness and morality, Saturn rules justice and the justice system as well. It also rules government, right? Anything that puts themselves in a position of a judge to judge people. So this is why it's very important to make sure you keep your activities ethical and you keep your record clean. That's what came out. Also, don't try to cut corners. You know, don't look for the quickest results. Look for the ones that would give you the best long-term results. Okay? Look for the solutions that give you the best long-term results. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Also, when it comes to specific activities, 12th house, 5th house, both of these are very much connected to fun, joy, pleasure, following your heart's desire. 12th house is also about spirituality a lot. So this month, you could find yourself focusing a lot more on developing maybe a spiritual practice. If you are religious, I don't know, going to your place of worship or reading more on particular religions. 5th house means that you are getting in touch, like I said, with that sense of inner child and having fun for the sake of it. It also speaks of creative self-expression. You might also now, think of new ways to dress or to express yourself through fashion, through accessorizing and all this. Any kind of creative activity, like I said, very, very favored during this month. And 5th house and 12th house, of course, both of them have to deal with travel to some extent. 5th house is, well, not directly a house of travel, but it does rule traveling for fun, just as it rules anything you do for fun, actually, hobbies, interests. But then it also rules education, college, master's, up until master's degree, actually. So, and it also rules ideas specifically, right? 5th house. So you might be getting a lot of cool ideas in the month of July. Creative ones as well. And the 12th house also is about traveling to faraway lands, especially, or it can have to do with pilgrimages, going to spiritual retreats and stuff. Things that involve traveling and spirituality at the same time. Okay, this is pretty much what I'm seeing here. And now last but not least, let me get the Astro dice, okay? Spirit, tell me about pile number 1 in July 2025. What is July 2025 going to bring for them? Tell me. Oh, wow. We have the number 3, which has come out repeatedly in your reading, which is ruled by Jupiter. So this is about getting out of your comfort zone. Wow. We have the Sun again. And we have Leo. Wow. Massive confirmation. So much Sun energy. So much Sun and Moon. See? We have Moon, Sun. Moon, Sun. Leo, which is more Sun, right? So, yeah, with Saturn, I have to say, this month, you also have to arm yourself with a lot of patience, but you are definitely on the right track. I mean, Spirit is encouraging you to head in the direction of your heart's desire, you know, trust your instinct, trust your judgment, don't take crap, basically, and get out of your comfort zone, right, with the number 3. This is also about optimism, faith, opportunities, a lot of things coming your way that are going to be positive, maybe new opportunities, and a lot of interest in travel, I think. Okay, so the Sun and Leo basically just reinforce everything that I have said with the cards that came out with the Sun and also the 5th house, right? I definitely think that by the end of July, you're definitely going to have a much stronger sense of self-confidence and a stronger sense of self. You're going to be more uncompromisingly yourself. Okay, this is pretty much what I have had in your reading, what I have seen in your reading. I hope you have enjoyed it. I definitely have. Very strong messages. Of course, keep me posted in the comment section as the month progresses, and even later. Feel free to come back and comment on this video with respect to what resonated, what didn't resonate, etc., etc. Also, any ideas that you might have for readings you would like me to cover on this channel, feel free to mention them in the comment section. And last but not least, of course, I will ask you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. It's the easiest way to support me, and it is free. Consider clicking on the notifications bell if you want to see when I upload a new tarot reading. Also, if you're interested in a private tarot reading from me, check out the video description. I've left my email address there. You can email me for a pricing list and reading options and any other information that you might require. And yeah, I will respond by email. I've also left a link in the video description to reviews. I have gotten 4 private readings before. If, you know, you're curious to see them, might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me. And last but not least, I have an astrology channel, and I will be linking that in the video description as well. And if you're interested in astrology, go ahead and check it out. I focus mainly on Vedic astrology there, but also with some tropical insights. I have more than 20 years of experience reading horoscopes, more than 10 in Vedic astrology. So I kind of sometimes mix tropical and Vedic, but I mainly stick to the Vedic principles. In addition to that, I also use some other systems that I have done research in over the years, like Chinese astrology, Batsa, Ziwei Doshu, the Mayan zodiac, numerology, and a bunch of other metaphysical stuff, right? So if you're curious about astrology, go ahead and check out my astrology channel. Maybe subscribe to that channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you in my next tarot reading. Bye! Welcome pile number 2. This is your reading if you have chosen this card over here with Be Spontaneous and or this citrine cluster crystal. This is going to be the card selection phase. I'm going to add timestamps so you can skip directly to the interpretation. Let me see. Okay, Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the citrine cluster. What will the month of July 2025 bring for them? What does the month of July 2025 have in store for them? These two want to come out. Yeah, they want to come out together. Let's see. Pile number 1. Sorry. I just said that out of reflex. We have 4 of Cups, first card. We have Eight of Swords, second card. We have the Empress, third card. We have the World, fourth card. We have Five of Wands, okay, in the fifth position. And whoa, okay, we have Five of Swords together with the Ace of Pentacles. They came out together. Let's see. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the citrine cluster crystal. What will July 2025 bring for them? Tell me, Spirit. No. What is the month of July 2025 bring for them? 2 again. You look at this, 2 of them came out together, even though I chose one. All right. We have the World again. Christ. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Star underneath the Empress. We have the Tower. We have the Three of Swords. That's intense. And, oh wow, look at this. Happy ending over here, pile number 2. We have the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Wands coming out together. This is wild. Okay, so many strong cards coming out today. Okay, let's get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. What will July 2025 have in store for them? Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. What will July 2025 have in store for them? Tell me. I just turned this over automatically. I mean instinctively. All right. Tell me about pile number 2. What does the month of July 2025 have in store for my pile number 2? Let's see. We have 38 Pine Masculine North, Mars Air. I'm going to read that description from the book. So then we have service. You stop using the universe, quote unquote, to try to get what you want and start asking love to use you, quote unquote. You offer all and want to be of service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. Okay, that was deep. And we also have courage, number 30. You know, I just watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time since forever. Like, this is the first time I've ever watched it. I finished it, I forgot, like 1 month, 2 months ago. And this guy reminds me of Angel for some reason. If any of you have watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I know they're working on a reboot or something, or a sequel. Anyway, reminds me of Angel for some reason. I don't know if that's relevant to anyone. So here we have 38 Pine Masculine North, Mars Air. I'm going to read the description from the booklet. Let's see what it says. I am pine. I am the evergreen of winter. I am the oldest living thing on this earth. I am longevity. I am a provider of seeds and nuts for nourishment. I am fertility. I am abundance. Tap the earth energy that runs through me. By burning my needles, I remove negativity, smooth out emotions, strengthen intuition, heal, and protect. Become socially aware of all around you. Express your masculine sexuality. Be bold. Go on a vision quest. Demand perfection. Do not be content until it is right. I am ancient. I am evergreen. All right, Pine. All right, Mr. Pine. All right. I'm sorry. I feel like this card is like manspreading in front of me right now with this description. So the interesting thing is that 38 actually boils down to, even though it's actually comprised of the number 3 here, so that's interesting to note, because you have 30 here, which boils down to a number 3 in numerology, which says courage, but then you have 8, which is ruled by Saturn. Anyway, there's so much symbolism in this. But ironically, 3 plus 8 boils down to an 11, which is ruled by the moon, and it's a very feminine and spiritual energy. But anyway, probably not what the creators of the cards wanted to convey. And we have Be Spontaneous, which is your original oracle card. Okay, so let's start to unpack over here. We have the Four of Cups, we have the World. So I'm already going to ask for clarifications because I need more information here. Please clarify the World card, which came out twice, by the way. But please clarify the World card here for me, Spirit. Three of Wands. I'm not surprised at all. Please clarify the Four of Cups. Wow. Did you see that? Did you see that? The Three of Wands was at the bottom of the deck when I pulled out the deck. Okay, I asked for clarification. I got Five of Swords, repeated cards, all right? Clarifying by the Five of Swords. I'm going to clarify again because I need to. Oh, sorry, I need to. Please clarify the Five of Swords again, Spirit. I mean, clarified for the first time. We have Nine of Cups. All right. So we have the Four of Cups clarified by Five of Swords, clarified by Nine of Cups. Then underneath it is the World clarified by Three of Wands. So this is you at the beginning of July. All right. We have Four of Cups clarified by Five of Swords. This is actually showing that I'm kind of seeing you licking your wounds over something at the beginning of this month. This is the vibe that I'm getting. No, I'm getting a very clear image. Oh, wow. Sorry, my voice is not entirely back even after 2 months from my last virus, flu, or whatever it was. Anyway, what I'm seeing here is that you have lost some opportunity. See how this resonates. Maybe some of you are not even conscious of this, but what I'm getting here is that you, at this moment, by the current moment when you are coming across this reading, have missed out on some opportunities on account of your fear of failure. And some of you maybe are perfectly aware of this, or maybe you're just becoming aware of it as you have, around the time when you come across this reading and you are, you're bummed about it. You're not feeling great about it. Sorry, I had to move the camera a little bit lower so that all the cards are visible. But I think you can see them. Anyway, so yeah, this is what I'm getting here. All right. I'm seeing a fear of failure. I'm seeing a fear of failure, most likely motivated by some kind of previous failures that you have had in the past. And then, so what I'm actually seeing more specifically, not just the fear of failure in itself, but the fear of failure is actually keeping you from trying things. Four of Cups is a card that speaks of rejection, right? That speaks of not necessarily you being rejected, but it's you rejecting things right off the bat because maybe you have some residual fear of failure based on past experiences. And I think most of you are conscious of this. I think it's something that you have thought about, and you are starting to regret some things, like opportunities you haven't taken, maybe a certain decision you made out of fear. And the interesting thing is the Nine of Cups is clarifying the Five of Swords, which is telling me that underneath that fear of failure, there is this huge desire to achieve whatever it is that you want. And I think in your case, you're someone who has very definite desires. So I think most likely you have a handful, even maybe just one thing, right? The main thing on your mind right now that you want to achieve. that you're very passionate about, that you would like to try out, and at the same time you are terrified of going after it. Which makes sense. Sorry, not laughing at you. I'm just underlying the irony of the situation, because it's going hand in hand with all of these cards over here, right? It speaks of courage. And then we have Three of Wands and the World card. Clearly in this context, the World and the Three of Wands, well, actually, even in this context, there are two possible meanings, or both of them could be applying at the same time. One meaning is that you're very focused on travel right now. So when you come across this reading, you're thinking about traveling. That's something that's very strongly on your mind, right? You have all these dreams, these destinations you want to reach, blah, 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 blah. The other meaning is that you are ending, so as a consequence of this recent bad experience of you feeling like you missed out on an opportunity on account of your fear of failure, you're deciding to take your destiny into your own hands and finally step out of your comfort zone. So the Three of Wands is actually about breaking through, right? Makes me think of the Queen song, I want to break free. Anyway, I'm not going to sing it. You know the one. Everyone knows the one. That's the vibe, you know, like you're finally deciding, you know what, F it, I am gonna do. Maybe this is, like, more specifically for some of you, this is actually about traveling. Like, maybe you're finally working up the courage to travel someplace that you've always wanted to go to, but maybe you were afraid to go to. Maybe this is about traveling alone for the first time. So this could be specifically about traveling, but irrespective of whether traveling is something on your mind or not, this is about you deciding to take matters into your own hands to become more proactive, right? So this is the present moment. Then we have the Eight of Swords and we have the Ace of Cups underneath. I'm going to clarify stuff here, all right? Already, I need clarifications. Please clarify the Eight of Swords for me, Spirit. I have some ideas, but I need more. Two of Pentacles, all right? Please clarify the Ace of Cups, Spirit. Please clarify the Ace of Cups, Spirit. What is this? Knight of Wands, which came out again. Knight of Wands. All right. This is interesting. So, I know what this is about. Clarified by the Two of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. I wonder if you're a workaholic, pile number 2. Maybe you're someone, irrespective of whether you think you're being a workaholic or not, or how workaholic you think you are. What this is showing me is the fact that you're using busyness, right? Staying busy as a way to kind of bury your head in the sand and not take full responsibility for your life. I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but I feel like Spirit wants me to say it. And you know what I mean? Like, workaholism. See, the difference between someone who's passionate about their work and someone who's actually workaholic is the workaholic uses work to escape other areas of life. Sometimes workaholism is maybe not even being in a job that you really like, and yet you're still working 14 hours a day. And that's because you keep busy as a way to avoid things, right? You want to have a job because you don't want to think about, I don't know, the fact that your marriage no longer makes you happy, right? Or the fact that you don't even know where your life is going, maybe, and you're miserable about your position in life. But instead of, you know, putting your foot down and actually looking reality in the face and taking action from there, you're burying your head in the sand and just keeping busy with your schedule, right? So this is what I'm seeing here potentially as an interpretation, is that you keep busy because you are a little bit workaholic on the one hand. On the other hand, and again, simultaneously, these two things could be happening at the same time. One other explanation is maybe you're not necessarily a workaholic, but you are failing to see a way out of your busy schedule. Not because you choose to be busy, but because you don't follow your gut. I mean, the explanation here is amazing with these cards, because the Eight of Swords actually speaks of having the blinkers on, you know, not, or another way to put it is not seeing the woods for the trees, you know, someone who is stuck in a rut with respect to what they're focusing on. Maybe they're approaching the same problem from the same angle every single time, and so they never really find a solution. But the problem is that they're not looking from the right angle, right? And in your case, the angle is your gut feeling, your emotion, your intuition. Eight of Swords especially speaks of intuition being the path out of your predicament. Whatever your current predicament, your feeling of being trapped and stuck is, the way out is to follow your intuition, your gut feeling. And in your case, it's furthermore emphasized by the Ace of Cups being underneath, clarified by the Knight of Wands, which also comes out here as part of your happy ending, which clearly shows me that the way to your happy ending is by embracing this Knight of Wands energy. So the Knight of Wands energy, this is fire energy. This is heart chakra. This is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, right? This is the strength to be yourself, to own who you are and what it is you want out of life, and take action in that direction. The Ace of Cups, right, is heart chakra. So it's about your heart's desire. It's about love. But I would say in this context, this is more about self-love, right? This is about opening your heart. This is about embracing the things that used to make you happy. Especially if you find yourself to be, if you found yourself to be a little bit numb recently, right? So these things are going to support you in the month of July. Your ability to follow your passion, your heart's desire. Time management also is going to serve you in the month of July, right? So being very careful with how you plan every step. Have a plan. You know, again, makes me think of that saying that I came across online ages ago that said, no plan is a plan to fail, right? So make sure that you plan your activities. Once you discover, let's say, your heart's desire, a passion, a hobby, something you want to explore, you have to make a plan, right? What are my next steps? Am I going to take a course in this thing? Am I going to set out a certain amount of a time or a time interval every day to focus on these things, etc., right? And oh my God, it goes hand in hand with what this oracle card says. You stop using the universe to try to get what you want and start asking love to use you, quote unquote. You offer all and want to be of service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. So I really think this actually goes hand in hand with that Ace of Cups energy and the Knight of Wands. This is Spirit telling you, instead of grasping, trying to manipulate, trying to control situation, trying to be hyper rational, look for activities that give you fulfillment, that make you feel like you're being of service. Maybe this is what you're lacking in life for some of you, you know? I've actually heard this from multiple authors and even spiritual teachers over the years, that when you're stuck in your own problems, right, like mulling over what is wrong with your life, the best way to get out of it is to actually help other people, right? Realizing that there are other people out there, that there's a whole world out there that maybe has it worse than you do, and being of service, that is the best way to get out of your head. And in many ways, actually serving others can help strengthen you. I wonder if this pile has placements in Kritika Nakshatra. That would make a lot of sense. Please comment in the comment section if you do. For those of you who don't know, Kritika Nakshatra is a lunar mansion, or yeah, a nakshatra. It's a concept in Vedic astrology. They're basically like a zodiac within the zodiac. You can just Google them and you will see, basically. Anyway, so Kritika falls in tropical Taurus and Gemini between certain degrees. I don't know the exact degrees, but yeah, again, you can search online. So anyway, closing the parenthesis, yeah, this is the general vibe, irrespective of whether you have Kritika placements or not. These are the general messages for everyone. And now we have the Empress and the star underneath. This is a very interesting placement. Because these cards are very positive, very, very positive, but they are in opposition, meaning these are the things getting in your way in the month of July. Now, this can be interpreted again, as usual, in several ways. One thing that I can see right off the bat, right, that I, especially going in hand with this service thing and the courage thing, I think this is Spirit telling you that your ego might be getting in the way, right? So Empress it's an energy that likes to be admired. It's beauty, it's femininity, it's kind of a Venus archetype. And then the star underneath, this speaks of attention, getting attention, wanting attention, right? So it makes me think that you're kind of a, maybe, lack of a better way of putting it, maybe a bit of a clout chaser, like attention chaser, or maybe you care too much about what other people think about you, right? And these kinds of tendencies, you know, to focus too much on how other people see you, or to always show yourself in a favorable light, which ultimately basically leads to a disingenuous representation of self, right? Because you're not really being yourself if you're constantly trying to show yourself in the best light. So Spirit is telling you that this attitude is actually working against you. It's working against your progress and your growth overall as a person. Ultimately, it's working against your happiness. That's the most important part. And yeah, that would be the most obvious way to interpret this. This is the best way that I would see it. Aside from that, this could be someone else, all right? Someone else who possesses these qualities. So this could literally be a person that possesses these qualities that might be standing against you in the month of July, whether it's direct opposition or whether your involvement with this person is actually detrimental to you, right? Maybe this is a friend who tends to be a bit superficial. Maybe this is your partner and they're flirting with other people or something, heaven forbid, right? That would definitely make sense with all this, with the courage and everything. Spirit is like, dump them. Anyway. So yeah, this is pretty much the opposition. And now moving on to the near past, we have the World and the Tower. So I need to clarify because this begs for a clarification. Please clarify the Tower, Spirit. Please clarify the Tower for me. The Two of Pentacles again. I can't. The Two of Pentacles again. Again. I need more clarification. Hold on. Please clarify the Two of Pentacles for me, Spirit. Are you effing kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? Sorry, Spirit, I'm not talking to you. I don't know who I'm talking to. A hypothetical person. That's who I'm talking to. Wow. Wow. I can't. I have no words. All right. I'm going to push it. I'm really going to push it. Okay. I'm still going to push for a clarification. Okay. I hope Spirit is not upset with me. Please clarify the Tower for me again, Spirit. Please clarify the Tower. This Four of Pentacles. All right. That starts to make sense. Wow. So much Tower here. What has been going on? Pile number 2. So in the recent past, this actually makes sense with the Five of Swords and that fear of failure. I can see it now. This is beyond intense here with the Tower coming out twice. And the Four of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles and Four of Pentacles, both of them speak of, career or money matters. So I think in the recent past, you've gone through some significant collapse. And I mean collapse, I think especially connected to work, to your finances and or your job. And this collapse, this can even be burnout, actually. This can be burnout. This collapse was driven by your desire for more. Your desire for security, to have as much money as possible. I can see kind of a tendency to spread yourself too thin. And to juggle multiple things at the same time. Although you probably learned a valuable lesson, because Spirit is telling me that this ability that you have to juggle multiple things at the same time is going to come in handy in the month of July. It's going to serve you well. The collapse was also driven by you putting money at the top, thinking that money is the most important thing in the world. So I'm definitely getting a sense of either you burned yourself into the ground, like you reached burnout, or somehow by chasing maybe multiple things at the same time, this led to an inevitable collapse of something. Like maybe you tried to juggle 2 jobs at the same time, and you were increasingly tired, you made mistakes, and they fired you at one of them or something like that. Or, worst of all, you resorted to something shady and then you got fired. So, yeah, this is what I'm seeing about the recent past. Yeah. The opposition, sorry. Yeah. So, moving on. Sorry, no, not the opposition. It's the recent past. Sorry. Moving on. All right. We have 5 of Wands. We have the 3 of Swords, which I'm going to clarify because I need a clarification. Please clarify the 3 of Swords. You're running out of cards that you can pull out as double, Spirit. Please tell me, clarify the 3 of Swords. Oh, wow. The Devil. Okay, we have the Devil. Please clarify the 5 of Wands. Queen of Cups. I have to say, see, the 5th position here, this has to do with the near future. This also has to do with what Spirit is telling you to do, what approach you should have in the month of July. And when it comes to near future, you might have to deal with a little bit of heartbreak. And it's not like a lot of heartbreak, but I would say be careful, because there might be someone around you that does not wish you well. There might be someone around you who is deceitful, who might betray your trust. And yeah, that could lead to some heartache. Aside from that, though, when it comes to your approach, Spirit is telling you that the best approach, right, for you is to fall back on your intuition, to fall back on your understanding of human nature, to try to diffuse conflict. This is what Spirit is telling me. Maybe you're someone who has been conflict prone in the past, like maybe you were quick to jump into arguments or to burn bridges. Spirit is recommending against that in the month of July, at least. Don't know about the future in general, but Spirit is kind of suggesting that, hey, you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. And as a consequence, I think the recommendation here is that you practice diplomacy. There's no other way to put it. So the Five of Wands speaks of the necessity to understand people's points of view, people who come from maybe totally different backgrounds than you. You know, you just don't see eye to eye with them, but your ability, your sharp empathy, your intuition, your perception, all of these things will serve you in being able to put yourself in the shoes of this person or any person you're dealing with that is coming from a different background, and to, you know, dodge potential arguments and misunderstandings, right? Considering, you know, your good ability to understand human psychology and emotion and to read people, you might be really favored in any kind of profession this month where, you know, if you're having to work with negotiations, if you're working as a psychotherapist, right? Any kind of profession where you have to work in one-to-one interactions, you're going to be favored this month. And I think Spirit is also giving you a reminder here not to fall trapped to your lustfulness. Like, I think Spirit is telling you, remember the last time you chased your lustfulness, it led to heartbreak. So keep that in mind moving forward. And then last but not least, we have these cards over here, which are the outcome. So this is the outcome of the month of July. What are you going to look like at the end of July versus when the month started? And it's looking really positive, I have to say. Look at this. There's so much symmetry over here. This is insane. Look at this, because like the first card, right, was clarified by the Five of Swords, and here we have the Five of Swords again. The second card here, we also have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is coming in again here at the end. So, and also we have Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. Unbelievable. I have to say, pile number 2, that you might actually find someone in this month. So you might find a potential serious romantic partner. Did I say pile number 1? I meant pile number 2. Sorry if I said pile number 1. It's late. So yeah, basically what I'm seeing here with the Ace of Pentacles, this is a present. This is an unsuspecting present falling on your lap. And it's clarified by the 10 of Wands. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship and maybe you have had some troubles in the recent history or in the past at some point, this is simply showing that you're going to have a blissful family life in the month of July, right? So things are going to get better. But like I said, if you're single and you have this, I would not be surprised if you actually meet someone significant. For those of you who maybe have already started seeing someone significant, this could be the month where you're, you know, moving forward to some kind of higher level of commitment. And then the Five of Swords clarified by the Knight of Wands is probably my favorite combination. This is Spirit telling me that you're going to turn your failure, your insecurities, like your fear of failure and your insecurities, into passion and confidence. So you're transforming this month. And it's also a new beginning with the aces showing up, right? The Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. It's a new beginning. Kind of makes me, it kind of gives me that vibe of, you know, that song from Nina Simone, I Feel Good. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. Okay, let me get some Astro cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. What will the month of July 2025 bring for them? What does the month of July 2025 hold in store for them? Tell me, Spirit. Yeah. We have Cancer, the caring. We have the moon, all right, a lot of Cancerian energy. We have trine, support and inspiration. We have Aquarius, the visionary, and we have Leo, the extrovert. So that Leo energy is definitely a confirmation of the Knight of Wands. The trine is also, you know what the trine makes me think of? Energetically, the path is clear for you. So the universe is helping you out. You may not realize it, but you have your back covered, basically. Things are going to arrange themselves in such a way where opportunities will present themselves. Things will line up in such a way where you can easily get what you want. But you will still have to be proactive and know when to take action. And then we have the Cancer and the moon energy. So this is definitely showing me that your intuition is going to be sharp. This might even show that you're going to spend some time with your mother maybe this month, or like somehow, actually, ironically, July is the month when, you know, Cancer, at least, well, tropical, both tropical, I was going to say tropical, but both tropical and sidereal Cancer have placements in July. So maybe that's why I'm getting a lot of, because Cancer and the moon came out pretty strongly for pile number 1 as well. So maybe that's why I'm getting a lot of energy of the moon, maybe. Either way, right? So the moon showing up is definitely showing, you know, heightened sensitivity, heightened intuition, and heightened imagination and creativity. And Aquarius and Leo, this is very symbolic considering that 5 of Wands energy, because these are two opposite signs, right? Aquarius and Leo. So I feel like Spirit and, oh my gosh, this makes even more sense in your case. We have that service, that's Aquarius. Yeah, service is Saturn. And you, I think, are more of the Leo energy. So that's the Empress and the Star energy. So Spirit is kind of telling you to move away from seeking attention to seeking to help others, and that you're actually going to get more satisfaction out of life that way. All right. Let's see what the Astrodites have to say. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the pile that chose the citrine cluster crystal. What will July 2025 have in store for them? Oh my God, I cannot. We have Leo again. I can't. We have the number 8. There's the Saturn that I was talking about. 8 is also 8th house, which is change. We also have Pluto. Wow, there's a lot of Scorpio going on. I mean, hello, the devil. So the devil and the Scorpio here, this also shows this, I don't know, you're going to have to deal a lot with your lustfulness this month, I have to say, with all this, the number 8 showing up, that could be a thing. So misdirected, you know, sexuality and trying to seek some kind of a healthy outlet, that's definitely a message. But then, you know, 8 and Pluto, this is about transformation. You are transforming. You are opening a new chapter. This is what it's telling me. And then Leo coming out twice. This is definitely you embracing the Knight of Wands energy, becoming more confident, more focused on your passions, more positive, and basically looking towards the future instead of, you know, kind of crying over spilled milk, so to speak, with that 5 of Swords energy, which, like I said, shows mainly fear of failure. Okay, this is pretty much what I have for you, pile number 2. I mean, I really hope you enjoyed this reading. Again, very strong repeated messages. I definitely enjoyed this. And again, if you have liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, click on the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. Feel free to comment in the comment section, of course. I would be very happy if you use this video as reference throughout the month and maybe come back to give me updates on how the month progresses. And aside from that, if you have any ideas for topics that you would like me to cover on this channel, feel free to share them in the comment section. And on top of that, if you're interested in a private tarot reading from me, check out the video description. I have left my email address there. You can email me for a pricing list, reading options, and any other details. I've also left a link to reviews that I have gotten for private readings before. Go ahead and check them out. They might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me. And aside from that, I also have an astrology channel where I focus mainly on Vedic astrology, but also with some tropical insights. I have more than 20 years of experience in reading astrological horoscopes, more than 10 in Vedic astrology, which is my preferred system right now. But I also use a lot of insights from tropical and then some other systems that I have studied over the years, like the Chinese zodiac, the Chinese systems like Batsa, Ziwei Do Shu, numerology, the Mayan zodiac, and a bunch of other metaphysical systems that are more obscure and I cannot talk about. But anyway, if you're interested in astrology, go ahead and check out my astrology channel. Maybe subscribe to it. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye! Welcome, pile number 3. This is your reading if you have chosen this crystal, the fluorite crystal, and or this card over here with communication. This is going to be the card selection phase. I'm going to add timestamps so you can skip directly to the interpretation if you don't want to sit through it. So, Spirit, tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the fluorite crystal. What is the month of July 2025 have in store for them? What is going to happen for them in July 2025? So we have Ace of Pentacles, we have Queen of Pentacles, we have Five of Swords, we have Three of Pentacles, we have the Five of Wands, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Tell me, Spirit, about pile number 3, the people who chose the fluorite. What will the month of July 2025 bring them? Wow, these two came out together. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we have the Star, we have the Seven of Wands, the Queen of Cups, these two coming out together, Three of Swords, and the Four of Swords. And then we have Ace of Cups, wow, and the Two of Cups underneath the Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. All right, let me get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What is the month of July 2025 have in store for them? Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What will July 2025 bring them? Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What will July 2025 bring them? So let's see. We have, rejection. All right, number 13. Any day now. We have trust. When love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. That kind of rhymes. And then we have 37 Cedar, Masculine, North, Sun, Fire. All right, I'm going to read the description from the booklet. Let me see. Masculine North Sun Fire. I am cedar. I am the sacred tree of the mountains and deserts. Burn my bark, needles, and wood, and offer my healing and purifying smoke, which cleanses and removes negativity. Protection is found within my shadow. I am abundance and prosperity on a material plane as money and wealth, and on a spiritual plane as enlightenment. Use my wood to make practical items as well as spiritual objects such as masks, which help you focus on the spirit and not on the person. I am guardian. I am longevity. All right. Very interesting, pile number 3. Because basically there's already some messages coming in, and look at this, we have rejection, and we have the 3 of Swords and the 4 of Swords coming in here under the 3 of Pentacles. But I'm gonna get into this in a little bit. All right. So I'm also gonna get some clarifications. Please clarify the Star card for me, Spirit. Please clarify the Star card. Oh, wow, we have the Tower. Okay. Please clarify the Tower, Spirit. 8 of Cups. Please clarify the 8 of Cups. Oh, wow. 9 of Swords. This is intense. So, pile number 3, I think at the moment when you come across this reading, you have recently gone through some stuff, some pretty heavy stuff. Can I just say this? Based on these cards, even though this speaks of heartbreak, I think this is mostly connected to a work situation. Like maybe the loss of a job, maybe even the loss of a career, or some kind of devastating news, something that really impacted you emotionally. And I think it's to do with money and finances. And this could be like recent past, maybe in the past month, maybe even longer than that. Like recent past, I would say no longer than a year. But you are also starting to recover. So this has been at some point in the past, but you've already started to make steps towards improvement. And I see that things are looking up to you, actually, for you, sorry. Because of this Ace of Pentacles with the Star underneath, I think whatever you have gone through, which I think most likely was a loss of some form, is actually a gift in disguise. And maybe you haven't realized it yet, but you're going to realize it at some point throughout the month of July, most likely, or immediately after. And this is the current state, right? Then we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the 7 of Wands underneath. This is the support that you're getting in the month of July. So what is going to support you throughout the month of July is your ability to keep your eyes on the prize, to be hardworking, to plan ahead because of that Queen of Pentacles energy. I think you also, right after this drawback, whatever it was, you've really started to regain your confidence and your faith in yourself, especially, again, career and finances wise. So what's going to help you throughout the month of July is your ability to plan ahead, your ability to be confident when it comes to your profession, right? Your expertise, basically. Also your patience, your staying power. And we have the 7 of Wands underneath, which also shows that what's going to support you is your ability to fight for your ground, like fight for your interests, stand your ground, sorry, fight for your interests. In other words, I would say hold out for exactly what you want. So you have a pretty uncompromising attitude. And Spirit is, well, I don't know if you have it already, sorry, but I think Spirit is definitely encouraging you to maintain this kind of an attitude throughout the month of July. So don't settle for less, basically. And don't be ashamed to just stand your ground and, maintain your boundaries with respect to what it is that you want exactly. And again, I'm getting an overwhelming message of this being connected to career and or finances. Then we have the 5 of Swords and we have the Queen of Cups. So the Five of Swords speaks of fear of failure. And also this is what's getting in your way in the month of July. Five of Swords, clarified by Queen of Cups. I think this shows your vulnerable side. This shows the side of you that has felt, has felt that your self-esteem, maybe your confidence has taken a hit as a result of some past failure. This could be this immediate past experience that I'm seeing here in the cards, or it could be multiple things, maybe that can be traced back all the way to early childhood. But basically there is some kind of a fear of failure based on some painful bad experiences that are holding you back. And the Queen of Cups also shows a little bit of hypersensitivity, right? Like maybe you are a little bit too sensitive to criticism, and that could keep you from taking in important feedback, for instance, right, in order to better yourself. This can be also, I think you are an empath, even though on the surface you might be really good at keeping a pretty stoic appearance. You're fundamentally an empath, and you can be easily hurt by other people's actions. You might be a little bit too sensitive to other people's actions or opinions. And I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, but Spirit is telling you that these tendencies could get in the way of your progress or in the way of you getting what you want in the month of July. So you need to watch out for that. Then we have the Three of Pentacles, clarified by the Three of Swords, clarified by the Three of Swords and the Four of Swords. Actually, they came out together. So this is really kind of a continuation of the same theme that came out here, right? With the Tower and the Nine of Swords underneath. And because we have the Three of Pentacles there, Three of Pentacles again speaks of kind of a professional setting. And it's also very fascinating to me that you have this initial card that says communication, and then we have Three of Pentacles, which is also about communication, more specifically communication in career, right, in a professional setting. And then again you have a number 3. So I'm also looking at the numerology here. We have the number 3 again, which goes hand in hand with this energy, the number 3 of Jupiter, but this time it's a heartbreak. And then we also have rejection here with number 13, which boils down to a number 4 in numerology, which is the same as the number 4 on the card of the Four of Swords. So I'm definitely feeling like there was some kind of a rejection happening at work. Again, most likely this makes me think of a job loss, but it could be all kinds of things, right? It could be a demotion. It could be losing a bonus that you really wanted. It could be dealing with some kind of a backstabber in the work environment, someone who betrayed your trust. But I'm seeing some kind of painful situation involving a professional setting in the recent history. And also a time of, probably some time when you just needed to relax a little bit and maybe lick your wounds, relax and just regain your strength because of this big hit that you went through. And then we have the Five of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So what Spirit is suggesting moving forward throughout this month? All right, I'm going to clarify the Ace of Cups. Please clarify the Ace of Cups, Spirit. Justice. All right. Please clarify the Two of Cups over here. Oh my gosh. We have the Queen of Cups and the Four of Swords again. This is impressive. And they came out together. Very strong messages. So, with respect to, let me just break down this part first. So we have the Five of Wands, Ace of Cups, the Justice underneath. So Spirit is telling you that moving forward throughout the month of July, you have to really focus on your communication skills, your social skills. And Spirit is telling you, try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. especially if you're dealing with someone who comes from a very different background than you, which is very likely with this Five of Wands situation, maybe even someone from different cultures. It's very important that you try to put yourself in this other person's shoes and try to look at things from their perspective. And then with the Ace of Cups clarified by Justice, this is like a double entendre message. On the one hand, it tells you be fair in all your dealings. You have to make sure that you are being fair first and foremost towards yourself and towards others. But then there's also a message of justice is on your side. Like there's a message that justice will be restored no matter what. So if, for instance, there was someone who, or there is someone, maybe you're still dealing with this person, or maybe you're going to deal with some people in the future that are being unfair towards you or try to take advantage of you or try to submit you to any kind of injustice, their justice will come, all right? So even though it doesn't seem like it, basically the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, will restore justice. So it's kind of like a message of don't sweat it because everything's going to be taken care of, right? So don't mull over, don't waste time in conflict because conflicts will be settled. People who are, seeking to create conflict just for the sake of drama or just to try to take something away from you, they will get what they deserve eventually. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is the final conclusion of the month here. We have Seven of Pentacles, Two of Cups, clarified by the Four of Swords and the Queen of Cups. So what this is showing me is, even though technically the Two of Cups is potentially a romantic relationship, so that could also be the case, definitely. It could be that you might meet a potential romantic partner in the month of July. Sorry about the ambulance. Or police or whatever it is. So yeah, there is a potential of meeting someone romantically in the month of July, but this can also just be a partnership of any kind. So it could be a friend, it could be a work collaboration, right? Especially since you have the Seven of Pentacles here. So Seven of Pentacles is telling me that by the end of this month, you're still going to have your eyes on the prize and you are going to be very involved with something that means a lot to you professionally. You're putting in a lot of effort into this. And as a result of this, you will have some people showing up that really support you, that truly support your trajectory and want to see you succeed. Whether, again, this is a romantic partner, this is a friend, or maybe even an acquaintance, someone who wants to give you a recommendation. Or it could be a work relationship, like I said. So maybe it could be you're moving to a new team that has a better boss, right? Or you have better coworkers, right? So the bottom line is, the clarification for the Two of Cups is that Four of Swords and the Queen of Cups, which also show up here. Look at this, Queen of Cups and the Four of Swords. So what this is telling me is that because of this experience, or because of multiple past experiences that you've had, the negative experiences of being betrayed, of being heartbroken, maybe because you put your faith in the wrong people, you're actually becoming much more self-aware, more wise, and therefore you will actually be able to move to a new chapter of healthier relationships, healthier partnerships, especially, that actually serve your progress. And yeah, overall, Spirit is telling you not to mull over whatever it is that you have gone through in recent history, which no doubt has taken a toll on you based on these cards. And look at this once again, like the trust, right? Like it's almost like Spirit is telling you, have faith in the universe. And the message again is, when love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown, which is very fascinating because rest is the Four of Swords, which came out twice here. So maybe right now, I don't know, you're looking for a job. Maybe you are just tired looking for a job, maybe, and you're not seeing, any good results in sight. Or This could be about education. It could be anything to do with profession, general life path, right? Where maybe you haven't gotten into the university that you wanted to get into, and now you don't know what's going to happen next, for instance, right? And so Spirit is telling you right now that for now, the best thing you can do is rest and have faith. And yeah, spend some time maybe in meditation and introspection. The Queen of Cups is also about nurturing, helping yourself heal, self-care, right? And it's also about listening to your intuition, your gut feelings. So yeah, this is pretty much what I have from the tarot cards. Let me get the Astro cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What is the month of July 2025 going to bring for them? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Not bad at all. I mean, we have Jupiter, we have the moon, we have 7th house, love and partnership. Look at this. Oh my gosh, the 2 of Cups and the 7th house, something is going on. So it's very likely that for some of you, you're actually going to meet some potential romantic interest, something that could turn into a serious long-term relationship. If you are already in a relationship, this could just mean that this month is going to be particularly focused on your relationship and maybe moving to a higher level of commitment. But the 7th house in the 2 of Cups showing up, there's definitely some partnership going on here. Considering the fact that most of these cards are about a professional setting, I wouldn't be surprised if this is either some kind of a business partner, someone at work that's going to help you, right? Or someone who's going to help you with your career trajectory. Or conversely, it could also be some romantic interest that you meet through work. That's another way. Or it could be through your work or their work. So some kind of a professional setting. Aside from that, we have Jupiter, which is a very positive. It is the most positive planet, right? It's the great benefic in astrology, which means July is going to open a lot of doors for you. There are going to be new opportunities. There's going to be growth. There's going to be a renewed sense of optimism and faith in general. A renewed sense of optimism, like I just said, actually. There's also a renewed sense of confidence. That's what I was going for. So basically, you're going to have more energy. You're going to have more enthusiasm for life, right? You're going to be looking forward to things. Maybe it won't seem like this immediately when you start out in July, but as the month progresses, you're going to see an increase of your morale more and more. And also opportunities showing up. Again, Jupiter, for women especially, this is the planet that shows the husband. So I would also see this as an extra confirmation for some of you, definitely, that you are going to meet someone significant in this month. Someone who might turn out to be a long-term romantic partner. Then with the moon and the Cancer showing up, this is the Queen of Cups, which has shown up twice in your tarot cards. So this is that re-emphasis on cultivating the nurturing energy of the self-help energy, of the self-parenting energy, right? So take your time to quote unquote lick your wounds, like I said, right? If you need time off, take time off. Don't overexert yourself. Don't push yourself too hard, because it's important to take time to heal and to rest. And sometimes resting is actually the most productive thing you can do when it comes to your progress, right? Especially when it's necessary and when you're about to hit burnout. But irrespective of whether, you're physically seeing signs of exhaustion or not, taking time to rest, to calm down, to go within, right? Maybe going through therapy. I mean, the 4 of Swords also, whenever I get that card, I always think about therapy, right? So it's a time of introspection. It's a time of looking within. Taking a breather, taking some time to just slow down, to look at your own actions, to analyze yourself a little bit, and also have plenty of time for rest, right? So that these kinds of actions, even though it seems like inactivity and you're not going to see a huge progress immediately, these are necessary and in the long run prepare you for bigger progress. So yeah, this is what the moon and the Cancer says. It also, the moon and the Cancer speaks of the mother archetype. So if you have any kind of wounds surrounding your mother, maybe relationships with women as well, but especially mother figures, those are good things to work through in the month of July. And with Jupiter, it's also a very good time for knowledge, for expanding your horizons, right? Also for traveling, if you want to travel. And Pluto, last but not least, is the ruler of Scorpio, of course, in tropical astrology. So there is an energy of transformation in the air, basically, for you for the month of July, which means that even though you're not seeing it, because I can see looking at these cards that this is not going to be, an overnight thing. It's going to take time. But with the Tower showing up, there's definitely already an energy of transformation that probably started before you come across this reading, right, in your recent past. And it's ongoing with the Pluto. So this is a month to basically bring out maybe a lot of buried emotions, a lot of buried things from your past, from your subconscious, things that have to be brought to the light in order for you to progress. And of course, since Scorpio and Cancer are showing up, this is a very, on the one hand, creatively fertile time. So if you have any kind of creative ideas, this is a great time to act on them, to, to maybe dabble in creative expression as well. Think about using art as therapy. That's a good one. Aside from that, this is also a time of heightened intuition, especially when it comes to your dreams with that Four of Swords coming out. So keeping a dream journal would be a good idea. But any form of like subconscious influences, so like your subconscious, or should I say the border between your subconscious and your conscious, is going to be a lot thinner this month, which means you're going to be getting all kinds of insights and creative ideas that you wouldn't normally be getting, which are seeping through your subconscious into your conscious mind. You might even get little flashes of brilliance, when it comes to solutions or creative ideas that you have. And it's a good time, it's a good idea to nurture whatever ideas you have. Okay. This is pretty much what I see. Okay, now let's check the Astro dice, last but not least. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What will the month of July 2025 bring for them? Oh my god. Look at this. We have Scorpio. Okay, transformation in the air. Yeah. So this month is not just about transformation, I have to say. Scorpio is also about resilience. It's about strength. So basically this is also like simultaneously Spirit telling you need to take a break, you need to take it slower, but then also that you're strong enough to weather this storm, right? With the Scorpio and with all of this transformation energy, like I said, also the Tower, I would definitely bet on something major either happening in the recent past or there is something that's about to happen that's a sudden event, right? Because that's what Scorpio rules. It connects to the 8th house, which is sudden, unexpected changes in your life. There's also, however, a hint, I think, considering the background here, about arguments potentially with people at work. I think this is Spirit telling you to keep stuff to yourself, right? Be careful not to overshare. If you have people around you, and even if you think you don't have people around you, right? Maybe you're right now listening to this and you're like, oh, I haven't had any conflicts with anyone at work. This is Spirit telling you to watch out. To watch out because there might be people around you that you're not even aware of that might be against you secretly, right? Maybe they're conspiring against you. Maybe there's just one person who can't wait for the opportunity to act against you. So don't overshare. Don't give people any information that they could use against you at some point, especially not in a work environment. And then we have the number 10, which of course can boil down to a number 1. So that would boil down to sun energy. That would also go hand in hand with this card as well, which is also number 1, the cedar, masculine, north, sun, fire. So that can speak of a renewal of your confidence, of your sense of purpose. But then the number 10, of course, also makes me think of the 10th house, which is the house of career. which again, considering all of this other cards, makes a lot of sense. I think you are very career oriented in this month as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, again, Spirit is telling you kind of work smarter, not harder. So don't burn yourself into the ground, and instead learn to pace yourself, to take time off, and yeah, to rely on your intuition a little bit, not just to be productive all the time without having a plan, I guess. And also, here we have Venus. Oh my God, Holy Mother of Christ. Venus is another Karaka. I mean, it is the Karaka. It is the planet of marriage, Venus. And again, considering everything else is coming through here, I mean, please let me know in the comment section. Feel free to come back to this reading at some point after July is over. Tell me if something happened romantically, because, like, there are so many signs here that could, you know, that kind of hint to that. Like, you might meet someone significant, right? Doesn't necessarily mean, by the way, that you will meet someone significant and you immediately get married by the end of July. Of course not. You could actually be meeting someone and, I don't know, this person is going to turn out to be important in your life, but you might only have a relationship with them maybe a year later or something like that. But there is something significant going on here romantically, I think, with the Venus. Is like, love is in the air, you know. It makes me think of that song, love is in the air, it's everywhere I look around. I think that's what the lyrics were saying. I don't remember what the lyrics were. It's an old song anyway. So yeah, Venus is definitely about romance potentially, but then it's also about beauty, sensuality, enjoying everything that the five senses, you know, help you enjoy. It's about hedonism, pleasure. It's about money, savings, finances. So I think, again, Spirit is also saying, yeah, obviously these things are going to be on your mind a lot in the month of July. But I also think maybe you're just going to be in a very romantic mood. Like, even if you are in a relationship, you might feel more romantic than usual, want to do cutesy things with your partner. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because of that Venus, that 7th house. Also, last but not least, I wonder if many of you have placements in Libra, because we have so much Libra symbolism, right? Or Taurus as well. But especially Libra, because we have 7th house, we have Justice. That's basically a symbol for Libra because of the scales. So yeah. Also, Venus, I think, is telling you, you know, whenever I get Venus, whenever I get the energy of Venus, especially as advice, I would say that Spirit is telling you to slow down and enjoy the roses. You know, Venus is all about enjoying yourself. It's about taking time, even in little ways on a day-to-day basis, to just do what you love, right? So take a bubble bath, eat a cake that maybe you've been depriving yourself of for a long time, listening to some good music, right? Savoring things, slowing down, slowing the pace, right? Dolce far niente, that Italian saying. Yeah, so kind of makes me think of Eat, Pray, Love now. Like, didn't they even use the Dolce far niente saying in that movie? I think they did. Anyway, yeah, something along those lines. Maybe even watch Eat, Pray, Love, and you'll get the vibe that I'm talking about, right? To slow down, to enjoy yourself. Spirit is telling us to take a break this month, definitely. Not saying that you shouldn't also quietly work towards your goals and improving yourself, but I think Spirit is like, you know, okay, yes, set aside a few hours a day to focus on, I don't know, your skills or your plans or whatever, but then also take time to enjoy yourself, to have fun, because what's the point, right, if your whole life is all about work? Okay, this is pretty much what I have for you, pile number 3. I hope you have enjoyed this reading. Again, very strong messages as usual. I definitely have enjoyed it, and I definitely think that Spirit wanted you to hear some things today. And yeah, if you have enjoyed the reading, do not forget, again, to subscribe to my channel and maybe click on the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. And again, feel free to comment in the comment section, of course, with anything that you want to share, whether this reading resonated, whether it didn't resonate, as long as you keep it respectful. Any ideas for other topics that you would like me to cover on this channel, I will take them into account. And aside from that, if you're interested in a private reading from me, you check out the video description. I will leave my email address there. You can email me for a pricing list, reading options, and any other details that you might be interested in. I've also left a link in the video description to reviews. I have gotten 4 private readings before. If you're curious to see them, might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me, so go ahead and check it out. Aside from that, I also have a astrology channel that I started way longer back than this channel, and I focus mainly on Vedic astrology there, but also with some tropical insights. I have more than 20 years of experience reading horoscopes, more than 10 in Vedic astrology, and Vedic is my preferred system, but I use a lot of insights from other systems as well, even things like Chinese astrology, like Batsa, Ziwei Doshu, the Mayan zodiac, numerology, and some other metaphysical things that are generally not known to the public. But a little bit of that every now and then. So yeah, I mainly focus on Vedic astrology though, because that is the one that I have found consistently gives the best results, the most accurate results. And yeah, so if you're curious about astrology, go ahead and check it out. Maybe subscribe to my astrology channel. I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye!